Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I woke up this morning and I was kind of blown up by all kinds of messages and different things about how the World Bank had talked about Ripple and all of this kind of thing. And then I saw a couple of videos about what was going on, and I believe that the World Bank, somehow there was a document and maybe also a PowerPoint that had gotten out. Someone sent me the document and I was going to go over that a little bit, but I wanted to make some larger points in speaking about this. And I think that here at C3_Nick, that I mention a lot because he always has good information and a good reasonable point of view on most things. He put a series of tweets here, and I was going to go through these and kind of he's kind of thinking the same way I am on this. 1/3 in a presentation at Global Symposium on Innovative Financial Inclusion, Harnessing Innovation for Inclusive Finance, co-hosted by the World Bank, and this was September 21st, 2016. XRP was called a supranational currency. XRP may achieve that role if done right. Then he says the presentation is marked strictly confidential, and then he goes on to say, do not believe the outrageous price predictions based on this. Please do not hype this way out of proportion. It is a long way, and there will be others who are in this game. We do not know exactly about Ripple XRP. The same goes for the competition. Okay, here's the point I want to make here. I speak to you guys almost every day about how optimistic I am about XRP and what the things that Ripple are doing. Okay, when it comes to Ripple being, which that's what we're really talking about here, when it comes to Ripple being declared some kind of world currency, or what I think is more likely becoming some type of a bridge currency through the interledger, that in my eyes is the cherry on top. Okay, I see hundreds of awesome things that are going on right before our eyes, many of which are imminent, that could happen any day now or any minute. Versus this, I see as especially the way that governments, as slow as governments work, even if something like this was in our future as XRP holders, it's not near as imminent as many of the things that I like to talk about. And one of the reasons for that is because I read people's comments all the time, and there are many people right now who are fatigued by the bear market, and they're not that we're in, and they're not used to. I've been through 4 or 5 of these at least. They're not used to the downs that you have to go through in the cryptocurrency markets in order to achieve the crazy, insane ups, such as 38,000% that I've mentioned before. And so many people right now, they want to see some of the things that are closer on the horizon than this. Now, I would compare the World Bank. I would compare that to if you take a Powerball ticket. I think if you're an XRP holder, I think I've told you before, holding XRP, I think is one of the greatest, probably the greatest investment in 2 lifetimes. And it's like having a Powerball ticket where you got all 5 numbers right, but you didn't get the Powerball number. Well, because I think you win a big prize with all 5 numbers, if I'm correct. But if you got the Powerball number as well, that would be Ripple becoming a world currency. Okay, that's our cherry on top. Trust me, that would be huge, okay? And it's possible that even if it's not some kind of a world currency, that it's a bridge currency, which is much more likely. And I think that's kind of what they mean as a supranational currency, is some type of bridge between currencies. I think that that's very possible. And so that's something that we very well could see, in which case you could see crazy numbers in the value of Ripple. But just like I'm going to do today, I am going to show you that World Bank, the document I got at least, and at least show you that. But I like to stay more focused on the things that I consider to be imminent, for now at least. Okay. All right. Moving along. Let's get rid of. Let me pull up this. This is the document someone sent me this morning, and it says International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, the World Bank, and this whole document talks about the entire document. The Ripple's mentioned, Bitcoin's mentioned, Ethereum, and they're trying to stay on. The World Bank is trying to stay on top of this money issue and the digital currency thing, and that should be big news in itself. What I wanted to do here, though, is here it is. I wanted to show you how many times they mentioned Ripple in this article. I thought it was kind of interesting. There are 14 matches for Ripple, and if I can find one of them no, it's the other one. If you search for XRP, it's mentioned one time. And there's a little paragraph that I wanted to read to you. Ripple has its own cryptocurrency, XRP, which is actively traded on several cryptocurrency exchanges. Ripple also operates its own exchange. Now, this is what Garlinghouse, I guess, was referring to, the institutions that are buying from them. Structured as a network described above, in which the top currencies actively exchanged are CNY, USD, JPY, and the Euro. In addition, other cryptocurrencies like BTC and ETH are also actively exchanged. The Shanghai Haru Bank recently announced that it is working on a remittance product using Ripple for the USA-China corridor. That's huge in itself. Okay, but I wanted to make. But so anyway, this is how big. For those of you that do not truly understand how huge what Ripple is doing is, and how big Ripple, the company, and how well they're connected, and how big this is as it relates to the world changing. That's what my channel is all about. That's what we've been trying to. I mean, I feel like Paul Revere trying to tell you, let everybody know. It's get in, come on. But anyway, so I want you to understand that. But also, there's another point I wanted to make. Okay, has nothing to do with anything other than how far out in front Ripple is. Every time, and we've seen it before. There have been times I've watched it in the past in markets. Okay, every so often, what'll happen is Stellar will have a month where Stellar goes up like crazy and Ripple doesn't do much of anything. And every time that happens, I start seeing many comments and I hear a lot of things about, oh, is Stellar going to be better than XRP and all this kind of stuff. Drinking some water there. And every time I hear this, I just laugh to myself because XRP has such a head start on Stellar, on XLM, which is Stellar's symbol. It's not even funny. The people at Ripple that have been working on all of this, they are so far out in front. The people that they have surrounded themselves with, the connections that they've made are so far out in front of Stellar, it's not even funny. But I just wanted to make this tiny little point as long as we're here. Let's do a search for Stellar and see if they're on the World Bank's radar. It says no matches found. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's look for their currency. I'll do a search on that. No matches found. So, just you're going to have to do your own research, but take my word for it. Stellar is not, I mean, Stellar will do well. I think all of the top 10 or 15 cryptocurrencies will do well in the short to mid run, but ultimately XRP is where you need to be. Okay. All right. But do your own research. Prove me wrong. All right. Let's move along here. All right. I wanted now I'm going on to the things that I consider imminent, like could happen today, could happen this week, this month, anytime now, that could potentially change your life as an XRP holder. Okay, and this is one of them. Okay, you saw the other day when the SEC rejected, I think it was 9 Bitcoin ETFs. Well, I read this and I was like, whoa. So the SEC said it will review the rejections, okay? And what it says down here in this letter, so basically the SEC rejected it, and then they came back and it says the commission, chairman and commissioners delegate some tasks to its staff. When the staff acts in such cases, it acts on behalf of the commission. The commission may review the staff's action, as will now happen here, Pierce wrote. Okay, to me that's pretty telling right there about some of the pressures that are out there right now on the SEC to start approving Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ETFs and get this ball moving. And that to me says that phone calls are being made and people have had enough of this. And so when phone calls, I know that you may think in your dream world that the SEC is this independent agency that doesn't listen to anybody and makes their own decisions, but that's not how the world works. The world works with phone calls from Goldman Sachs and the like, and they say, okay, it's time. And so anyway, moving along, right after this, I saw that the guy, Brian Kelly, who's on CNBC all the time, he said, Bitcoin ETF will most likely be accepted by February 2019. So, in other words, right after the article about how the SEC is they're going to go review the decision of those people, the people on their staff. Their staff members are getting spankings right now. So, anyway, Brian Kelly's saying, well, from what I'm hearing, my sources, that's what when he's coming out with when there's an article like this coming out, means somebody's telling him it's going to happen. Okay, so this directly affects us all. Next, and this I've mentioned to you before, the reason I keep telling you the ETF, the SEC, it's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, because the United States, and that's part of the dilemma for the United States and all of these countries. If you don't do it, somebody else is. Don't think that we live in a world economy now. Don't think that the other countries of the world, this is an article about the Swedish bank, they've just inked a deal to offer crypto fund trading. So don't think that they're not going to do it. And the SEC is not going to be trumped, no pun intended, and let these other countries get the jump on the United States. That's probably why the phone calls are being made. Next, we the other day, USD became a base pair with Bittrex to provide liquidity for XRP. That was last week's news. Well, today we found out, or this was yesterday maybe, Bittrex partners with a trading firm on crypto securities offering. And this is their, what was the company called here? It says Rialto, in an announcement Thursday, Bittrex said it is working with Rialto Trading, which currently offers fixed income products for traders to gain regulatory approval to support blockchain-based securities, according to a press release. And so what this is the you're seeing the beginning, and I've shown you this before. You're seeing we're right in the middle of watching the meshing of banks, cryptocurrency trading platforms, and traditional broker dealers. And what's going to happen, and I'm going to show you a couple more examples, what is going, and ultimately you'll also probably have custody solutions, and they're all going to be blended in. You might be going to a bank where you can buy not just a CD, but also cryptocurrencies and also stocks in one place. Why shouldn't you be able to do that? But that's what this right here is. And there's been other articles I've seen today that is talking about how Bittrex could completely jump Coinbase because of some of these things that they're doing right now. Coinbase better stop acting based on some silly philosophy of their founder and start acting based on what's good for business. That guy's not going to be CEO very long if he doesn't start conducting his business a little different. Because to have XRP nowhere in your business when you're a digital asset platform and you're trying to get bigger, that makes pretty much no sense. And I think everybody knows that. And his investors will begin to let him know that if they're not already. So I think you'll see that sooner rather than later. The next thing, which is along the same lines, JP Morgan, who now this is about stocks. JP Morgan's there, it says that they're wanting to come in and they're going to compete with Robinhood. You know, Robinhood's an app where you can go and buy stocks for free on their platform. And it's saying here that JP Morgan is wanting to target millennials. Well, here's my question to you. Robinhood just got it set up. They've been going state by state so that you can not only buy stocks for no commission, but you can also buy cryptocurrencies. You can sell out of an Apple stock and then turn around and buy into a digital asset on Robinhood. So where do you think JP Morgan? I know JP Morgan says that this is all a fraud, but wonder why they might be heading in this direction. Kind of interesting, huh? Next, Bank of America wants to patent a cryptocurrency storage system. Why in the world would Bank of America, one of the largest banks in the world, want to patent a cryptocurrency storage system if cryptocurrencies are not going to be massive? And the answer to that question, if you haven't figured it out yet, is that they wouldn't do this if it wasn't going to be massive. They know it's going to be massive, and so they want to patent a cryptocurrency storage system because they're smart. All right. Okay. This right here, I'm going completely off topic because I just wanted to tell you a little story about something that happened to my son. A lot of times when I go to these little stories, I realize that many of you out there, XRP investors, are younger people, and because I'm talking to a lot of people that are younger people, I've learned a lot in my life, and at times, as long as I've got this channel and as long as some of you are listening to me, I'm going to tell you a few things that I teach my sons, because these are life lessons that I've learned, and this won't take but a couple of minutes, but I'm going to tell you one thing. This happened with my son this week. My son, just to let you know, my son is a bigger guy, okay? He's 12 years old right now, but he's probably twice the size. And I don't mean he's not fat. He's a big guy. He's just a big guy. But he's a linebacker build. And so when it comes to running cross country, most parents probably would tell their kid that's a bigger guy like that, don't run cross country. I, on the other hand, grew up running a good bit. And I think that cross country and long distance running especially is a great has many good lessons about life and is a great metaphor. So I told my son that he's going to run cross country, and because there are many lessons and it'll help you across other sports getting good at running. So this past summer, knowing that the tryouts for cross country would come up, I told him that I was going to teach him how to run. Now, as many of you know, I came off of the AFib surgery that I had for my heart a while back. And so I had to take quite a break from any running, but I've started back running. I started back a little bit this summer. And I wanted to make really 2 points about running as a life lesson. The first one I want to make is that 99% running is a mental game. And I don't know who said it, but it stuck with me. 99% of life is won between the ears. And that is so true with running, especially because runners, it's not all about how good of a shape you're in. Now, it is to a large extent when you're long distance running, but the winners, the guys who are really winning consistently, a huge part of it is how they are between the ears mentally, how bad they want it, and their ability to put the pain aside and put the negative thoughts out of their mind to cross the finish line before everybody else. And so to you young people that are listening out there, and to everybody else, if you've never heard it, I don't care what it is you're doing in life, 99% of your life is going to be won between your ears, because it is a battle of wits out there. And so I told my son to make that point, to bring that around. I said, now listen, there's 30 kids that were going to go out for the cross country team with his school, and they had to finish in 20 minutes or less. I think it was 2 miles, which that's not too difficult to do, but this is middle school we're talking about. And they had to finish this race in 20 minutes, or it wasn't a race, but they had to meet that time in 20 minutes or less. They had to run it. And I told my son, I said, no, listen, I don't expect you to finish in first place. You outweigh most of the kids on that team by double. And I said, but what I do expect you to do is finish in the middle of the pack. And I said, there's a dirty little secret about running and life in general. And that is, most of those kids, especially those kids that are little and skinny, you would think that, oh, well, that kid's small and skinny, he's automatically going to be faster than me. Well, guess what happens when you're given something free? You're tiny and skinny. You don't tend to run as much. You don't tend to work out as much and work as hard as the people who don't have that advantage would work, like my son. So I spent a month or two with my son, running with him and making him run leading up to the race. And I told him, I said, you have something, and this is something I've seen from his running. I've taught him to finish strong. And I told him, you've got something that 99% of the population does not have. And that is, you've got it conquered between the ears. And I've taught him to run through the pain and to go harder than anybody else is willing to go. And I said, most people do not have life conquered between the ears, and they don't. And so he went out and he ran it, and he finished somewhere in the middle of the pack. But there were 15, and this is what I told him, there are 15 skinny kids that finished behind you. Now, physically, that shouldn't happen, but mentally, that can happen. Now, I wanted to finish with this one other quote, okay? And I've told you all before, I went to Auburn University, so it pains me to give you a Paul Bear Bryant quote, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, because success transcends even football teams I don't like. So he said, it's not the will to win that matters. Everyone has that. It's the will to prepare to win that matters. And that, for you young people, that is what I'm teaching my sons. I do it with baseball. Baseball is our sport. It's the will. Most people, they say that they want to be a great cross-country runner. They say that they want to be a great baseball player. But 99% of the population will not put in the time and the hours necessary to make themselves the level of an athlete that they say they want to be. Or, and not just athlete, but I don't care what you're trying to do in life. Okay, I'm done with that. I just wanted to pass that along. So my son, who is bigger than anybody on the cross-country team, is on the cross-country team, and he did it between his ears. And that's what I want you all to understand. All right. Okay, finishing up here. I wanted to show you this. After XRP listing, WireX now acquires an e-money license, the next step in mass adoption. Okay? And it says here, on the 23rd of August, WireX announced that they had become the third cryptocurrency-based company to be granted a United Kingdom Financial Conduct Authority e-money license. With this upgrade, WireX now has the right to be involved in cryptocurrency-related trade in the UK on a legal basis. This is big. WireX is going to be a really huge company, and I talk to you about WireX every day, but I wanted to cover another thing I haven't covered with it. And the three things that I show you at the end of my videos, I would not show them if they're not things that I think ultimately help you and the XRP community at large. And ultimately, when I'm making commissions on these things, you know, we live in a world where you have to, the world's changing, and right now many things are happening in this world, paradigm shifts right now, and new ways of making a living, new ways of, whether you're an Uber driver. I mean, the world is changing right before our eyes. It fascinates me, but the ability, my goal, because I've kind of developed a passion for this YouTube channel, and I've already got a passion for digital assets. My goal is to be able to do these videos for you guys every day, if not a couple of times a day. But in order to do that, I have to supplement some of the things I'm doing. And so but I'll tell you this: I will never ever show you guys any products or anything, and I won't put them in the link in my descriptions unless they are things that can help you, the XR community at large, and help us all change our lives. Okay, and so that's what this is about. But I wanted to show you guys, and the WireX, you can get the WireX card in the link of the descriptions of all of my videos. It'll take you right to their site. You can also do that with the Ledger wallet to protect your digital assets. The link is in the description of all of my videos. And then also to buy your cryptocurrency merchandise, so we can make this all change the world and spread the word. That's in the description as well. But I haven't mentioned to you yet that the WireX card, they have a cashback program with this card where you can earn Bitcoin when you use these things. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that until I was looking around. And so go get the card if you haven't done so. And then, of course, and I say this every time, I repeat myself on the Ledger wallet every time, and all these other things, because there are those of you who have listened, there are new subscribers every day to my channel, and I appreciate it. My channel is growing at a really fast rate, and I'm really excited about it. Really appreciate everybody for watching. The Ledger wallet, click on the link in my description. It's the safest way to hold your digital assets. I personally have I've witnessed people's digital assets being stolen. They've been stolen from crypto exchanges, and don't be one of those guys. This is a way to store it offline and do it in a safe way. All right. Also, if you haven't seen my Liechtenstein video, go watch it. It's about, I did a whole feature on the country of Liechtenstein, and so I had this t-shirt made. It's called "See You in Liechtenstein," and one day I may have to call the Liechtenstein Prime Minister to get him ready for what's coming, because I think we're going to have an army of XRP fans that are going to show up in Liechtenstein. He may actually have to call it the XRP Liechtenstein Beer Festival or something, because I think there may be that many people there. So go get you a shirt if you don't have one already. All right, I am not an investment advisor. I am the digital asset investor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Talk to you later.